we can wear gender lens in evaluation and address the gender-based violence throughout each process of evaluation. So if you can make it as official or standard part of the evaluation, later it can help us to inform the next interventions and intentionally plan to address the gender-based violence. Hello, my name is Uugantsetseg. I'm an independent evaluator from Mongolia and former co-leader of EvalYouth Asia, a network of young and emerging evaluators. Even though evaluation is not yet fully and completely professionalized and institutionalized comparing to other sectors, it still shows an ability to adapt and support the solution of development problems. So what does the future of evaluation look like, and what does it mean in terms of gender equality? I think that there are major shifts shaping the future of evaluation, which are localization, technology, intersectionality, and rise of young and emerging evaluators. So for the first, localization, we hear many terms like community-led, country-driven, country-led, community-driven, or indigenous, participatory evaluation, etc. So the terminology can be different, but the context behind is the same. So basically, it's about people who are closest to the issue, or the people themselves are the ones to shape the evaluation questions, participate in the process, interpret the findings, and decide the actions. So it's a shift from donor-driven to locally led, locally owned, and even more community-led evaluation. And I think this shift is already a step forward to advance the gender equality, because in a community-led evaluation, the community or the grassroots groups themselves are not being considered as just a typical evaluation stakeholder or informants, but rather the co-creators of the evaluation and also the users of the evaluation findings. And second, of course, technology, the integration of digital tools, advanced data analysis systems, maybe real-time analytics, and AI reshaping the evaluation as a complex from how the evidence is being generated to data analysis, report writing, and also communicating the evaluation results. And the next point is intersectionality or cross-sectoral thinking, because evaluation actually it can touch everything from the technical subject topics like environment, food safety, water, energy, and education, health, youth, gender, children, and then to overall governance like designing, planning, implementation, coordination, management, and results distribution, etc. So because evaluation itself is at the intersection of all of this and applies cross-sectorally, it can help us to identify gaps and then uncover any inequalities, and also it can help us learn the lessons of how gender equality is addressed through that intervention or identified or supported, and also it can help us to document and to learn from the good practices. And finally, the increase of young and emerging evaluators is also another trend, I think, because the term young and emerging evaluator itself brought another trend that more other younger professionals come into this evaluation field, and young evaluators bring digital fluency, innovative thinking, and a different perspective shaped by a more interconnected and gender-aware world and more a different society. In terms of addressing the gender-based violence, I think the biggest and the most effective way is to normalize the gender-based violence-related analysis as part of a standard evaluation, instead of considering it as a specific gender-related project or just reporting sex disaggregated numbers like number of beneficiaries or number of participants, etc. So in evaluation in the gender equality context, I think we need to move beyond just a simple report of numbers disaggregated in sex and call it a gender-responsive evaluation. But we can move meaningfully beyond it, because gender-based violence is not only domestic, but also it's everywhere. In workplace, in community, in the politics, even in the decision-making levels. And now it also appears online, like online bullying, harassment, and digital violence. So we can wear gender lens in evaluation and address the gender-based violence throughout each process of evaluation. Why not? There can be one more evaluation criteria on gender equality and social inclusion. For example, a criteria can be to what extent did the intervention address gender-based violence in its context? Or it can be like, did the intervention intentionally or unintentionally increase or decrease the vulnerability of women, girls, or other specific certain social groups like elderly people, disabled people, etc. So in practice, some of the organizations include gender equality context in the evaluation process, but not as part of the standard process, but as an additional question to the evaluation by saying cross-cultural or other. So if you can make it as official or standard part of the evaluation, maybe it would help us to leverage the resources we invest in the evaluation and collect more gender-based violence-related data and do more analysis, etc. And then later it can help us to inform the next interventions and intentionally plan to address the gender-based violence.